Hi, okay, so let's do this. This is my Pinterest board for education technology, and I'm going to get right to it. So I have 17 boards and 587 pins, which is way over the requirement, but I had a lot from my other Pinterest board that I brought to this one. So this is just going to be a great resource for me as I continue on in the education program. So this is my first year teacher board, which includes everything I will need now, like teaching portfolio, creating a teaching portfolio, interviews, and then there's a lot of advice for first year teachers. There's a student teaching binder, just different tips and um, things that people wish they knew as a beginning teacher, tips for landing a job, blogs, etc. This is just a really good collection of first year teacher resources. Next is Teacher Technology Board, which includes everything. It's mostly apps and websites, but also includes a couple of videos and technology ideas, lists of apps from the computer and iPads, Google Play, lots of different, this is websites, the ultimate list of educational websites lists. And there is just everything from courses, language learning, books, videos, programming, music, DIYs, how-tos, random knowledge documentaries, other life hacks, cooking, and math. So there is just everything there. So next, there are lots of websites every elementary teacher should know. Exit Ticket is a response system that's really cool. So lots of different math and reading things. And the one thing I did want to show you is this is 7 virtual field trips. So this looks like a museum that you can search through and send kids kind of on a virtual scavenger hunt to learn more about something instead of going there. Say it's in Washington, D.C., you obviously can't go there. But if you have that online website, you can. That online website. This is music for your classroom, and then this is Planboard, which is a lesson planning application. Next is a collection of books that I found, and they range from ages and grades because I'm not 100% sure where I want to be yet. Somewhere in like the 2nd grade to 5th grade range, probably, maybe a little bit younger. But there's books of every kind and different themes that I want to go with. Fractured Fairy Tales. Then there's these big boxes of books that you can use to fill up your classroom. You can order them from a website. And then movies that go with books, that kind of thing, chapter books, books for boys, which can be hard to find. And then there's also a collection of teaching books, so things that can help you grow as an educator. Lots of resources like that. Next is a collection of videos that I found, and they are sometimes ideas that I would like to use in the classroom, but there's just a video demonstrating it. And then, like, this is a game for the first week of school. But then there's also videos like this about Martin Luther King Jr., verbs, there's some music apps, or music videos, sorry, and then water cycle. Then there's other things you can see as similes, metaphors, and pop music, so you can have students identify things in those different songs. And another cool thing is a video. There's some Pixar short films like this too, and students can use them to kind of see what happens next and make inferences. This one says great for plot, character, and theme. There's prefixes, animated poems, kid president videos, which are hilarious, and different videos in that respect. Okay, so next is differentiated instruction, which I think is very important in a classroom, and it's something that I think is going to be crazy to learn, but when I get it down, it'll be wonderful for my classroom. So I have a lot of different things, blogs and ideas. This is a spelling homework menu, so students can pick one thing from each, the appetizer, side dishes, entrees, and desserts, and then everything would be turned in on Friday morning, as it says. And this is something a teacher has created, and I think I really like it. And that way students can decide what they want to do for spelling and what works best for them. Then there's like a survey to see how students think they learn best, differentiating with one book, math, smart student grouping, more spelling, group work, cooperative learning, that kind of thing. So that's a lot of tips. Classroom organization and design is a lot about setting up the classroom and different themes that it could have and decor, things like that. So there's like a Christmas tree and just different ways I can set up a classroom. There's like desk arrangements, posters that I could use in a classroom, all those kinds of things. Scrolling. And this is a new student packet, which I think is a really great idea because at the beginning of the year, I imagine we'll be making copies of everyone from our classroom, and then say in the middle of the year you get a new student, then you have to go and copy all those forms that you made at the beginning of the year. Whereas then you can have them, if you make extra copies at the beginning of the year, you can put them in a packet, and then when a new student shows up, they're all there ready for them. So those, oh, I have that twice, that's how much I liked it. And there are more organization tips. So many. Okay, so there's that. Next is assessments, and this is a board, just everything that has to do with assessments. It's 20 pins, and it's loading. Okay, so this is anything, ideas for assessments, formal, informal assessments, warm-ups, review games, data tracking and documenting, that kind of thing. Exit tickets, checking for understanding. So that's assessment. Next is lesson planning. This is also documenting, so sub-plans, lesson plans, and documenting. Grading too. This article talks about grading policy, which is a great thing to think about ahead of time. Editable lesson plans. Yeah. Moving on, there's classroom management, which is huge. So huge that I have 70 pins on it. And so there's just a lot of options for students. You remind them, what are you supposed to be doing next? And how to deal with students, and just anything having to do with classroom management, lines, procedures, questions. These videos are great for recess, like indoor recess. Symbaloo, same thing. Jobs you can have for students. Behavior management. This is kind of a checklist type system there. And then this is great. I just want to highlight this for a second. This is a really interesting story of a teacher and her seating arrangement idea. And so I really encourage you to come here and look at this article. It's very eye-opening in a way of a great thing a teacher did. Attention Getters, another great blog. Music, videos. And GoNoodle is also a great place for videos, and your class can kind of earn points towards little creatures. It's kind of fun. Next is math. And with math, this is everything: lessons, posters, games, activities, different things having to do with math. Legos, lots of fun Lego stuff. There's lots of, I focused a lot on division, multiplication, and fractions. I think that's right about the age that I want to be teaching, and so I have the most of that. But I do have some lower things, because that's the basics, and who knows where I'll end up. Lots of fractions. Area and perimeter. Yeah, that's using Pluto. That's kind of fun. Next is incorporating faith in school. I only had 6 pins for this one, but I want to teach in a Lutheran school, and so anything having to do with faith or character I put in this section, which isn't very much, but there's a couple things. Next is Common Core, which only has 8 pins because most of it is incorporated into the math and reading sections of my Pinterest board. There's just a couple Common Core explanations and things that specifically were Common Core related. Next is parent involvement, which is huge, huge, huge. So anything having to do with parent involvement I put here. So report cards, letters, newsletters, conferences, any back to school night kind of thing, how parents can help with math and spelling. More newsletters, communicating effectively with parents, another great blog. Parent gifts, meet the teacher night, lots of those conferences, huge thing. So next is random tips and tricks. Stuff that I didn't know where to put and I just kind of threw it there, but I wanted to save it. So some sayings, some different things on ADHD, autism, and bullying, teacher discounts, blogs, more poster type things, quotes, mostly quotes, end of the year ideas, reminder, wristbands, TED Talks, 27 ways to be an effective classroom teacher. It's an interesting thing to look at. Dealing with late assignments, it's good to have a philosophy on that ahead of time. And yeah, and the rest you can look at. Next, I'm going to move on to, we're getting to the end, lessons and materials. This mostly has things with spelling, science too. Things that I didn't have a spot for, but that are lesson and activity related. But a lot happen to be science and spelling. Writing too. This is another collection of Pinterest boards. 25 must-follow Pinterest boards for science activities. So that's interesting. And then a synonym roll board. School crafts and projects. There's not many in here. Oh, there's 23. But any kind. This is more activities, gifts, ideas. So around the holidays, you need to have gifts, or teachers generally have gift ideas, and they have kids do crafts and stuff like that for their parents. So this is just anything like that I could find. End of the year beach balls, which were cool. Buying a beach ball and then students write notes to each other. And last but not least is my reading/English board. And my minor is English, and so I have quite a few in here. This is just everything having to do with English, which is a common theme. So, reading dice, guided reading questions, posters, couple blogs, resources from Teachers Pay Teachers, which is great. Common Core aligned stuff is also fabulous. More books. And this is one thing that I really like. It incorporates math and English for younger grades. So it's which our Eric Carle book was your favorite. And so you read all 4, and that's the English portion, and then they make a graph with it, and that kind of incorporates the math part. So that is what I've got. And if you want to look at my boards more, you're welcome to follow me. It's just this, and I have a second board, so that, that one doesn't have all teaching stuff, but I made this one special for this project. So I hope you enjoyed, and thank you very much for watching.